Hello. Today we're going to talk about Chapter 13, Foundations and Walls. So first of all, I want to go over to the plans and let's look at some different foundation walls. In this case, from the 2-unit apartment, you can see that this is a foundation wall here. And if you follow these out, it will tell you what it is. So we have 8-inch concrete foundation here, and that is the whole thing. Now, in chapter 12, we talked about a keyed joint in the footing, 2x4 key. Notice that 2x4, so it's probably been made by a 2x4 actually being laid in the concrete while it was being poured, right after it was being poured, sorry. And then we have other things that's put into the concrete footing here, such as these dowels, and you can follow this out. So number 4, continuous horizontal rebar top and bottom of the foundation wall. So we have here, this little dot here, that is, and here in this particular one. We also have number 4 rebar at 36 inches on center, and that is this running up through here. And then we have number 4 vertical deformed dowels. Now, deformed is just another name for rebar. So we have rebar, we have deformed bar. I don't know why they use 2 different names in the same example here, but so we have number 4 deformed rebars at 36 inches on center. And what they do is they set those in the concrete, and that's what helps hold the concrete wall to the concrete foundation. Let's go over here and take a look at a different one in just a minute while it's loading up. So it's going to take a few minutes. So some other things that we can look at are we have a mud seal, which is going to be a pressure treated 2x6 pressure treated seal plate with seal. So let me show you what seal looks like. Seal is just a piece of foam. Generally it's blue, and there you go. That's what it looks like in a roll. And then it is put underneath the wall or underneath the mud seal, so to prevent any kind of air infiltration from the foundation wall into the main wall. So also this is being held in place by a 1/2 inch by 7 inch long anchor bolt at 6 foot on center. Remember that this is the 2-unit apartment. So let me go over here and show you what an anchor bolt looks like in real life. If I can spell it. So here is some anchor bolts, but not what we're wanting. This is an anchor bolt. Here we go. This is an anchor bolt. Now the code says that we have to go with 5/8 now, and I'm trying to find it in a foundation wall. Anchor bolt in foundation wall. Let's see if we get there. Here we go. So here is what it would look like in the real life, in the real world. And here, and here. So you can get an idea of how long they are. Again, at one time the anchor bolts were 1/2 inch, but it is 5/8 inch now. I'll open up this other drawing here and kind of give you an idea of a different view of a foundation. So this is CAD, and we'll look at the wall in this one and see if we have similar ones as soon as this thing gets unfrozen. Okay, so we'll pull in. Come on, baby, work with me. It's freezing up. It don't like me. Okay, so in this particular case, we have an 8-inch CMU foundation on a 8 by 24 inch concrete footing with two number 4 rebars. There's the number 4 rebars right here. And then we have the block wall. And up here we have the anchor bolt. And we have a 2 by 12 plate. There is a 2 by 4 wall on this particular one because it's going to be a finished basement. And instead of using just a 2 by 8 just to span the 8-inch block wall here, the contractor has decided, or the architect has decided, to go with a 2 by 12 plate over here and just do the whole thing. Same thing on the other side. Let me pull up another one and let's see what we got here. See if this is any different. Here again, it's going to freeze up on me a little bit until, there we go. All right, in this case here, we have a 2 by 12 plate as well. We're on a 12-inch CMU wall. We have 1/2-inch anchor bolts at 60 inches on center. So I guess I'm wrong. It can be a 1/2 inch steel. At one time, I'm pretty sure that it had to be 5/8. So we also have an anchor bolt down here. Now this particular block here is called a header block, and it's shaped so that we can get the concrete up under the wall here when we pour this slab, and you can't see it. So we go ahead and fasten this pressure treated plate right down onto it, and we have an anchor bolt going into the header block. So that kind of gives you an idea of what all that looks like right there. So in our particular one, yeah, I'm the right one. Okay. So in the foundation plan is where you're going to see all of these foundation walls. And one of the questions is to count all of these walls. So you're going to count all of this. And the best thing for you to do is just start somewhere and start here at 13.9, 24, 13, or excuse, yeah, 13.9, 24, 13.9, 24. And then over here, you're going to start and just go right around and do the same thing, 28.3, add all of these up all the way around. And then you're going to have to come in here and add this wall, and this little wall, and this wall, and this, and this, and this. All right, so you shouldn't get some too terribly crazy numbers. And let's see, some of the other questions that are being missed are, let's open this up here. Can't remember right offhand, but they are down in the 20s, I do believe. So there's the one about asking how much concrete, and you basically pick the answer here. It's not going to be, what you come up with may not be exact, but it should be a close. That's why I have approximately in here. What is the typical thickness of the concrete block foundation for the lake house? This is for the main house, not the garage. What size anchor bolts are indicated in the top of the lake house garage? Again, you're going to go over here to this this wall section here, and you're going to look in here to find that answer as well. How thick is the south foundation of the fireplace? So if we look up here in the foundation plan, this is the south foundation plan. If you're paying attention, I'm giving you these answers really quickly. What is the elevation of the top of the north end of the east elevation wall of the lake house? Do not count the garage. Okay, so this has been a really confusing one. So what was the question? What is the elevation of the top of the northeast foundation wall? Okay, so what you want to do is you want to come in here to the east elevation wall. Ignore this completely. This is the garage. Don't even count that. So what you want to do is you want to come into this portion here and figure out what the top of this foundation wall is right here. Not the footing, but the foundation wall. We did the footings back in chapter 12. So now figure out what this area is here. Let me go on to the next one and see if there's any other. What is the highest elevation on the entire foundation? What you need to do is kind of back up and look for the whole foundation here. Look for which foundation. The top of masonry is what you're looking for on all of these. You want to find the biggest number and go with that. What spacing is indicated for the anchor bolts? Again, you're going to go here and you're going to look in this area here to find the anchor bolts. Anchor bolt is not spelled out, but is an abbreviation of AB. What secures the foundation wall to the footing? The foundation wall and the footing. What holds these two together? And then lastly, what is the elevation of the top of the concrete wall in the northwest 3.5-inch steel column? Now, here's a tricky one. So we have these steel columns going in here. Here's one, here's one, here's one, and here's one. So we need to know what the foundation, or what is the elevation of the top of the concrete wall in the northwest. So this is northwest, this one here. So we don't have anything here that tells us what this is. So we have to continue on and look for a little bit further down the road. Let me introduce you to this pretty little isometric drawing here of the center bay. So these are all the 3.5-inch steel pieces here, and I'm asking you, what is the top? What is the elevation of the top of this masonry wall right here? So use all of this information here to figure out what that is. Okay, so this is pretty kind of quick and dirty. So if you have any questions, text me, okay, and I'll try to answer them the best that I can. If we need to, we'll have a phone powwow. But until then, enjoy.